You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Tuesday, April 29th. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show, where they come to you live on Liberty Online Television. And welcome back from the Independence break. We hope so una all celebrate the Independence Day as una able for do. Well, Nasago welcome una, and we will bring this edition of the Breakfast Show to you. Me, Namebel Kaba.
And me, na Al-Hassan Kuma. Good morning. Now, a pleasure for day. I want to welcome you to the Liberty Breakfast Show as today, now Tuesday, April 29, 2025. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, we look at Salone at 64. What this mean for the country, what are the gains and benefits for the country after we don't celebrate or commemorate 64 years of independence of the country. We will bring that to you inside this edition of the program. Don't forget to you, they watch the program, will be part of this. By way, we will send a text message to the number +232 74 200 545, or you drop a comment on the platform outside you they watch with from either on our Facebook page or with YouTube channel.
All right. Well, as soon as I hear from Al Hassan, today in this edition of the Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV, we ask the question: says Salone at 64, if for define the country as corrupt with poor leadership. Now, the question that we asked today in this edition of the Breakfast Show, as we can look at successive governments since independence to now, it's 64 years. And if not being human being, we all know so we say 64, you almost reach retirement and you don't live your life done. Well, we can look back at Salone, how far the country don't come 64 years of independence. Waiting really they for celebrate. Is it that the leaders then that they not only do well since independence to now the different leaders them not really they focus on issues way for develop Salone? Now that we discuss at the studio this morning. And for help we talk that we get the executive director for Citizens Advocacy Network, we Nakan and Thomas Moore Conteh. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
All right, it's a pleasure having you here after a very long time, and with a welcoming back to the media.
Thank you.
And we also expect somebody from the State House Communications Unit. We all know saying that the Bio-led administration, they in governance now. We can look at how far INSEF don't go under the Bio-led administration, waiting to happen so far. Waiting and think about Salone independence. 64 years down the line, how the country don't panic. We will discuss the issues and they inside the program this morning. And remember, see yourself when they watch, can feel free for drop your own comments. Tell me what you think about Salone at 64. Anything the way you think so we need for celebrate, what you need for be done moving forward. Send them to the message +232 74 200 545 or drop them in the comment section. Now the different platform outside the watch we. Before we can start that topic day, let me just start with the issue of the day, Alassane.
All right. For the issue of the day, we will take you straight to court and look at the very first issue inside the program this morning. Magistrate Sakekura, the Freetown Magistrate Court number 1, don't send back Thomas Fabawa, go to the May Correctional Center for answer to the offense of fraudulent conversion contrary to law. Make we join Ma to share if we put this report together.
Magistrate Sakekura and the Freetown Magistrate Court number 1 don't send back 41 years old Thomas Pabawa go na the Male Correctional Center for where police alert say he been turned to use 58,000 new loans where he no say not to get them. The accused they now before the court on 1 count charge we get for do with fraudulent conversion contrary to section 21(5)(a) of the Last Name Act of 1961. According to the particulars of offence na that, between May 1st to September 30, 2024, na government WAF na the western part na Freetown. The accused been turned to in use and benefit 58,000 new loans where dem began for keep. Magistrate Sakekuano been give for bail to the accused and been send am go back na the male correctional center. For Liberty Online TV, me na Mariatu Sheriff.
All right, so welcome back from that court's update. Say you still watch the breakfast show live na Liberty Online TV. Now the different platforms say they get with this morning, and members say inside this edition of the breakfast show, we can't talk about Salon at 64 after independence. We ask the question, say if na a nation for where they go describe or define them as being corrupt with poor leadership. Now the question and the way we ask this morning. But before we can talk to the studio guests them, we all know say every independence and most of the public holidays them, the sitting presidents can address the nation. Also it can talk about seeing them way in government zone do and self the way forward. And not an exception, President Bio by the weekend where Salome they celebrate 64 years of independence. It may address the nation. Let me just watch part of the speech where the president be make as he been talk about how far governments of Salon don't come under in leadership and how far the nation they go. Let me just watch then from there we go begin talk to his studio guest then.
My fellow Sierra Leoneans, it has been 64 years since our forebearers courageously led our beloved country to the shores of freedom and self-determination. They envisioned a Sierra Leone where every citizen could thrive in unity, freedom, and justice. Today, as we commemorate the 64th anniversary of our country's independence, it is remarkable how, as a people, we have continuously demonstrated this legacy of resilience and self-determination in addressing national issues. The spirit of independence is not just about our freedom. It is about taking responsibility in lifting our country and ensuring that no one is left behind in the nation's development. Fellow citizens, in my address to the nation in 2022, I revealed the tremendous achievements that my government recorded in the education, health, and infrastructure sectors, despite the stifling effects of COVID-19 pandemic and the global economic meltdown. Again in 2023, despite the disruption of governance by some of our compatriots, we remained committed and resolute in implementing the ambitious Feed Salon project aimed at food self-sufficiency and economic growth. This culminated into increased budgetary support to agriculture and mobilized donor funding worth over $136 million United States dollars. Similarly, in 2024, in the aftermath of a global economic meltdown, our country was hard hit by high inflation rate, food prices, and persistent energy shortages. Yet again, my government swiftly geared up to these challenges and embarked on short-term programs to cushion the prevailing effects on citizens, while still pursuing the Feed Salon initiative. I'm recalling these challenges of our recent past not to dampen our spirit. I do so to bring to mind that through our shared commitments and in pursuit of our country's development agenda, we have over and again displayed the legacy of resilience and self-determination. As your president, I sincerely appreciate your diverse support and contributions through these trying times. I'm proud of your immense courage and determination to foster peace and harmony of this great nation. My dear compatriots, this year, as we recount our past, I'm delighted that our resilience is gradually paying off. The Feed Salon initiative is gaining momentum by moving from vision to creating impacts. This year, a $105 million United States dollars worth of livestock development projects will begin its operation in Sierra Leone. This will deliver new ranches, veterinary services, hatcheries, and feed systems to improve meat and poultry supply. Another $45 million United States dollars worth of cassava value chain development project is nearing finalization. This aims at boosting cassava processing capacity and transforming cassava from subsistence crop into a viable commercial commodity. Work is currently ongoing to develop 4,500 hectares of irrigation to ensure year-round rice farming in high potential areas. I'm also pleased to report that the economy is also gradually stabilizing. The economy is projected to grow at 4%, primarily supported by increased agriculture and mining initiatives. Inflation has been decreasing steadily through 2024, and the latest figures now stand at 10.7% as of March 2025. The exchange rate has also been relatively stable. The Leone has appreciated by 0.13%, creating increased confidence in our economy. In addition to the petroleum pricing formula, my government has recently introduced new pricing formulae for rice and cement to stabilize the market and ensure fair and affordable prices for consumers. We remain committed and hopeful of creating an inclusive economic environment that empowers every Sierra Leonean. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, being mindful that reliable energy remains a critical challenge facing our nation today, my government has embarked on addressing key structural and systemic problems that have for decades hindered progress of this sector. These corrective measures will take time to yield results. But sooner than later, we will move our country from stopgaps to reliable energy supply sources. Several transformational energy projects are currently ongoing to realize this dream. We have completed repairs on the Kintom Power Plant, and that of Black Hole Road is ongoing. These combined, we add 25 megawatts to the national grid. We have launched the Nant Energy Generation Project, which aims at providing 120 megawatts of power, and the Respite Project, which will bring additional 40 megawatts of solar energy to the national grid. As a result of my persistent engagement with our international partners, I am optimistic about Mission 300 project. This is an African-led initiative aimed at providing electricity access to 300 million people in sub-Saharan Africa by 2030. Sierra Leone is one of the beneficiaries of this project. In our rural electrification drive, we will continue to expand our solar installations in additional rural towns through a 50 million European Union-led project. Fellow countrymen and women, I crave your indulgence and patience on this matter. I'm aware that the current energy output is below the required supply, but I remain confident that once these projects are completed, we will transform the energy landscape of our beloved country for the better. In the near future, I want to celebrate an independence anniversary on an electricity supply that is truly our own and reliable. We might have not realized all the goals that we would have wanted to achieve, but we need not be despondent. We can only hope for a better future. In the health sector, we are building systems that are stronger, smarter, and more capable of saving lives. Sierra Leone is no longer a knee-jerk response to situations. The most striking evidence of this progress is shown in the maternal and child health outcomes. Maternal mortality has declined drastically from 1,165 deaths per 100,000 live births in 2013 and now stands at 354 deaths per 100,000 live births. Child mortality, once the highest in the world, has been cut by half. It has fallen from 220 per 1,000 live births in 2001 to 105 per 1,000 live births in 2021. And it is projected to have further declined since then. At the heart of all these gains is a sustained investment in the foundation of our health care system across the country. Healthcare infrastructure is being strengthened to support better care, faster response, and greater resilience. Over 230 health facilities have been equipped with solar systems, ensuring reliable energy. Major hospitals, including Connaught, PCMH, and Kenema Government Hospital, have received substantial upgrades to the theaters, wards, and maternity units. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, you are aware that our country has recently recorded pockets of monkeypox cases in some parts of our country, but mostly in the western area. Although our healthcare system have robustly responded and contained this outbreak, I will implore all Sierra Leoneans to remain vigilant and cooperate with our medical staff to eliminate this disease. As we commemorate this anniversary, we must also remain conscious of our environment and be our neighbor's keeper. The recent spate of fire outbreaks in public and private buildings is a call for concern. Following the outbreak of fire at State House, the Honorable Vice President, in my absence, put together a cross-sectorial team to assess and investigate the situation and produce recommendations. While we await that report, I wish to admonish everyone that we should be mindful of the integrity of the electrical gadgets we install in both private and public buildings. We must be watchful of the activities of others around us and take responsibility to mitigate combustions or any activity that may put lives and properties in harm's way. As we commemorate another Independence Day, let us continue to honor our achievements. They are our sources of hope and strength in facing our challenges. Let us also extend our well wishes to our neighbors and support those around us that we may consider less fortunate. Independence is not just about freedom, it is also about love and unity. Let us stand together as one nation, united in love and driven by purpose of a shared vision of a progressive and developed Sierra Leone. Let us be mindful that the journey ahead of us requires our sustained courage, commitment, and collaboration. Our strength lies in our ability to embrace our differences while fostering the common ideas that bind us together. I urge everyone to rekindle this flame of hope and determination in building the future of the land that we love, Sierra Leone. Happy Independence Day. May God bless Sierra Leone.
All right, welcome back. You still watch the breakfast show from that speech day, the independence speech from the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. We will continue with the program. You still watch the breakfast show. They come to you live at Liberty Television, our Facebook, YouTube, and our website. Today, we look at Sierra Leone at 64 as a poor and country we get issues with regards to leadership. That's not the question we're asking inside this edition of the program. Well, of course, we just been joined by the Director of Communication at State House, Berewa. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Show.
Good morning, sir. Happy to be here.
All right, as we also been there with Thomas Moore Conteh, we are the Executive Director for Citizen Advocacy Network. We do it in the studio as we look at this particular issue for the Sierra Leone independence. Let me join you, Thomas Moore, as we don't look at the speech from the President, as we holistically look at the independence celebration of the country for 64 years, we don't there as an independent state of Sierra Leone. So as somebody, we don't do follow issues surrounding Sierra Leone. So what do you make up of this 64 years anniversary of Sierra Leone?
Yeah, well, at Citizens Advocacy Network, we believe we need for use this period for reflect and confront the brutal facts we they stare at the faces of every Sierra Leoneans when we wake up in the morning. For 64 years, we live in a country where God bless enormously with mineral resources. We get the best beaches you can think about outside the world for touristic purposes. We get the mountains, we get the lands, and for do agricultural work. We get people who are so good, kind, and really ready for help in pushing this country forward. But over time, we don't reel behind. We dey always na the lower rounds of Human Development Index. Mark you, this na a country before now was known as the Anthens of West Africa. This na a country where we do very well. Other countries that we dey na the neighboring, we neighbor also come to win also for education, for health, and commerce. 64 years after independence, all them tears we don't wash away. Today, become so dependent on one that we will be the really provide succor for. You ask yourself the question as a Sierra Leonean, where have we gone wrong? With all waiting God bless we with, few nations in the world get the kind of blessing we will get, with all the resources we will get. So there is no excuse that Salone is a poor country. Salone is a poor country. Salone is rich. What we have had over time is corrupt and insensitive leadership. We don't plunge this country into the abyss of poverty and making the lives of the people miserable as they clock the tick. Today, basic amenities where citizens them in contemporary times waiting for the benefits and enjoy, we still struggle with them. I go be very, very unfair for say steps that not be taken by governments and politicians them over time. But at Can, what we believe and what we articulate on the 64th anniversary of Sierra Leone independence is that then steps they're so infinitesimal, in other words, they're so minute that they're not even worth celebrating, taking into account what we get at our disposal as citizens. So we are not pleased as citizens. We believe say we can do better if the right things are done by the leadership, by we politicians, power holders for the past 64 years, even as we speak to date. And as we speak, as we celebrate the 64th anniversary of Sierra Leone, we feel say the heaviest blame can be placed on the current administration.
That's one be my next question. Way for Citizens Advocacy Network CAN, we the represent here this morning. Ona believes say Usai Salone as a nation get them wrong because since independence to now it's 64 years. Now as a result of corrupt and insensitive leadership. From on a path, President Bio na the 5th democratically elected president in the country. And if one for look back, this corruption and insensitive leadership for Una, when it starts na Salone, where you see na day we get them wrong?
Dispensation after dispensation don't manifest corruption, this I must say. From who gets independence, we have been having our politicians taking the people for granted, milking the people, leaving the people impoverished. We see that they fed themselves, we see tit for tat, we see that they plunder the country in economy, then they become better, their lives they become better, whilst the people in life they become miserable. We cannot place that blame on a single administration, to be fair enough. But we talk now about 64 years of independence under the leadership of His Excellency President Maada Bio.
64.
And he has gone 7 years into the mandate that we gave him as a president. 7 years down the line, let we look at where we are, whether there are improvements, whether Salone don't really take any steps for let we begin go near, we neighbor them, where we say we be far ahead of. The answer to this question will be it will be in the negative. No. All the steps we don't take now are mediocre steps. Mediocre steps. Don't say mediocre steps. Now steps there, yes, steps have been taken, but our steps the way not significant for change the lives of the people, because the steps the way significant. We're not going to do in a state where today electricity when at the biggest minimum way government for provide for the people. We still face we whole country no somehow they will enjoy sustainable light. The light where they come either a very low or it cause trouble, burn people, it cause more peril to the people. We live in a state today in the celebrating 64 years of independence. We will not get a sober health system in the country. We women them go sick, then go get belly, then go to the hospital. They don't get the necessary medication and forget because we health system is so under resourced that they're not for providing necessary services for people. And you go to the facilities, they're very poor. If somebody want to forget first aid, because of first aid treatment you get in this country, you need for private hospital, which will spend big, boku money. Most of the government institutions, government authorities, not get money for having hospitals in this country. Most of them do not go to our hospitals. They go overseas for medication. How many Sierra Leoneans amongst 8 million people will able to afford that? We talk about the economy. The economy is in tatters. People, they struggle for get hand to mouth. People wake this morning, they look up the sky. Which side God will actually provide for the miracle. Almost every Sierra Leonean don't become beggar. You wake up in the morning, even people who well placed in jobs cannot provide for their families because what they provide them a salary is so small that they need for help.
Anti-Corruption Commission, we suppose for the effects corruption with lined agencies them. If una believe say corruption and insensitive leadership now results to the issues here, where we they discuss so at Salon 64th Independence Anniversary. Outside the commission, they miss the fight against corruption. If corruption don't contribute greatly to Salon being outside there at 64 after independence.
That is what I'm talking about. Leadership. One of the biggest challenges we get in this country is corruption. Before President Bio came into governance, we see Auditor General reports will come out. And the kind of shocking revelations the way Auditor General will pull. And President Bio in government leverage on them Auditor General reports and make use of them for let able to communicate in aspirations to the people of this country. Sadly, when President Bio took over governance, when Auditor General begin pull reports them from 2018, 2019, we see it become an enemy to the state. The Auditor General become an enemy to the state. The Auditor General become a subject of consistent attacks to the point that they decide for suspend them and eventually constitute a committee where will legitimize the illegitimate action of suspending the woman. And today, that Auditor General not in our governance. This is one of the most diligent public servants in the history of this country. That's a signal from that point where we see from a government we're not ready for foster accountability and transparency in the real sense of the word. Because this Auditor General report come out and the things that were erased, things that were even touch and concern State House, improprieties at State House, which is State House, they undertake programs and they're not for even provide, they're not for account for them things. They give receipts them for things that will not even they exist. The millions of dollars, billions of loans squandered by the administration, and say it was going to be damning. Then decided for suspend the Auditor General. Let me go. I get to get calls of Auditor General reports, and let we see. Let we not see these little things that we will talk with. Let we just see how we leaders then don't be so disingenuous to the people of this country. In 2019, the Auditor General report revealed that 177,500,000,000 cannot be accounted for by the administration. In 2020, 153 billion 900 cannot be accounted for by this administration. In 2021, 175 billion 500 cannot be accounted for by this administration. In 2022, 317 billion cannot be accounted for. In 2023, 233 billion 700 cannot be accounted for. These are colossal sums where if we put them in the right place, in the government we get transparency and accountability. These are things that will help for improve the health sector, provide more hospitals, pay with health workers very well, so that they will be very energized, they will be very, very happy for providing necessary services. Because say what you may, the necessary amount of money they face challenges. That is why you go to hospitals today, not they watch woman, they don't go and crawl, suffer so. You don't even get interest in that. Because you don't get interest in the job. You go to hospitals, even beds them, people they find it difficult to get beds. There are communities in this country who don't even get hospitals. We got talk about education.
All right, Thomas. Let me just solidify before we can look at education. We all know say the first quarter of President Bio in term, the free quality education will be introduced, and now it will focus on much more other things. But education for him being paramount in first term. We can't talk about education shortly. Let me just bring Mike inside because we all know say, well, President Bio is the 5th president and I now in governance. Most of the issues that we discuss therefore be forwarded to the sitting government as to waiting themselves done they do Salone 64 years down the line after independence. For Citizens Advocacy Network, Mike then describes Salone as a corruption and insensitive leadership. Now in the results to the challenges where people in the country they go through as it is now. Una day in governance, and you know one of the I go say foot soldiers of President Bio, we can go out to tell the public waiting on a belief say the government don't they do for look into issues where our citizens then concerns them. How the government's lens go describe Salone at 64 after independence?
Well, I will say very hopeful. We are not there as a country where we want to be, but there is a lot that we are proud of. I'm a bit disappointed with my brother, Thomas, because it started on a good footing, saying 64 years, blame leaders them. And I want to agree with him, partially say, there have been problems in this country since the 64 years. We are not where we want to be. When you take a look at countries like Malaysia and other countries, and where we all start struggle together, they are far off, and we are not there. But the only problem when we get to Tom is, Tom tried for narrow to this government. 7 years in government, and now I'm saying, all the lion's share of the blame, now this government, this dispensation. I feel so that is very unfair, that is biased, that's not true, that is unrealistic, because one, if you even combine the whole SLPP and APC, so if you want for share good, you want for share bad, you will take them to the other people them. We maybe they choose bad leaders, them corrupt leaders, them we get with Osa Ode. I don't want to focus on this because if it's Tom represents for society. So I want to focus on the good. I want my brothers see we are Sierra Leoneans. There are things that we can celebrate this 64 years. I agree. A lot of sectors get problem, but we can celebrate what? We health indicators. Me and you know I say, open slash of maternal mortalities and infant mortalities, WHO talk say we don't reduce them by 60%. What I mean by that? But the woman and not the die like how they die in this country again 10 years ago. You know, woman, you know what they say. One of those people in Naya. Picking them, first term Sierra Leone, it's difficult for the picking reaching 5th birthday in this country. 10 years ago, we got appalling figures them on maternal and infant mortalities. That's not the thing. That is something we can celebrate. We can celebrate what? Gender equality. First time woman will push in a corner. Now this dispensation we come in, the Giwi Act, we don't see how 30% representation of women in the parliament, and in all walks of life. A lot of women and they women and they want ministers. A lot of women and they want lawmakers they now. women in the head organizations, institutions, they are commissioners, they are directors, they are head of programs in this country. That is something we can celebrate. We can also celebrate young people in governance. That is huge. First them, then conversations, I'm here, Thomas Moore Conteh. Now, pardon is you don't talk about governance in this country. So they will see how young people are taking the helm of affairs in this country. Now, this dispensation, I believe, say young people get the will, young people get the energy, young people get the determination. President Bio believes, say, in democracy, the majority should rule. And if you look at this country, majority of the people in this country are young people. So in belief, say, giving young people the seat at the table for let them make decisions the more it matter to them, and not believe, say, other people for make decisions for them, then for sitting at the table. That is something we can celebrate. We can celebrate immunization rates. This country is one of the countries we use as a model. Now we roll malaria immunization at this country, one of the pilot phases them at this country. We see how where COVID came at this country, how where Ebola came. When Ebola came, we see how it killed people in this country because of the actions and inactions of the leaders that will be get by then. When COVID came, it not happen. People do not die reach 200 in this country. COVID was a pandemic because there's a difference between a pandemic and an epidemic. Ebola was an epidemic. It affected few countries. COVID was a pandemic. We affect every country, even devastating. America, we get all the healthcare structures. Them more people die there. But when COVID can happen, people do not die. That is leadership. That is something we can celebrate. We can also celebrate what? We can also celebrate completion of girl child. This country, we don't see first and girl picking and not go school. Now we see a lot of girl picking and they finish school. Yeah, the free quality education, yes, and also sometimes my brother who can say that's not something to talk about. Because they go say corruption still the teacher then they still take money, the free quality education too expensive. I agree with them because at school levels, at administrative levels, then they do their own thing. Government don't say free quality education, but there's one thing about this free quality education where I feel say my brother me and for celebrating, for embrace enrollment, school enrollment. Now you're gonna any district, any chiefdom, you know they work at 5 miles radius, you don't meet a classroom day. Yeah, first time we picking one seat back except then they work up long distance. Government school bus system will buy them. We'll not just centralize on our free ton. We can't go on our upline. Right? We don't build more schools in this country, more classrooms in this country. You get more picking where they go school past I be 10 years. My brother, these are not small things. So my brother, they say mediocre things than this. This is something we for celebrate. Yeah.
Right, just like you mentioned.
There's so much. I really want.
Yeah. We yes, governments don't do with regards the 64 years anniversary they celebrate as a country. I'm pretty sure from your introduction, only say we say Mike Thomas no actually get get to do with health. We were for look at that particular set today with regards to health because you talk about a lot of progress when in the health sector. We Thomas Moore as well. They look at the challenges them within the health sector. As somebody within governance, because when we look at the president's speech, he talk about the enormous challenges them we inside government as we celebrate 64 years of anniversary of our country. So tell me how best government they work for able for look at the strategic areas them like the president talk about the energy sector, where now one of the most pressing issues across the country. We get for do with supplying electricity to the people of Sierra Leone, and also the agricultural sector. The president mentioned about a huge amount of money we they allocate to the agricultural sector for able for boost up, the feed salon project where the government being introduced as in key priority inside the second term of President Bio.
Well, I mean, just want to go down, but since you just go to your point. I mean, challenges are there. I don't tell you say challenges are there. My brother, there is no country after the COVID where in economy no crash, we no get shock. No country, even America. All countries. Let me, brother, name me one country that is doing better economically after COVID. There are challenges, numerous challenges, right? But we are making strides. And are there strides and there are ones for just highlights to you. Like we mentioned, the healthcare I don't tell you, say we don't build more hospitals them. We don't solarize beaucoup PHUs and CHs them across this country. Berewa they know they die like them, but they die again. Pikin they know they die like them, they die again. Right here across the street, Kiama Road, you don't so. If you peep that window, you dey see say we don't plant solar. Right up the zinc. For let them get their own electricity. We have 1 megawatt. Now what's in that? That is huge. That are like when you bring 100 kVA, 100 kVA, you put up. It's too much for them. Yeah, that's one thing. We don't build hospital na I call it Lumbly. We na children's hospital inside Freetown. We don't solarize Connaught Hospital, Rokupa Hospital. So there is a lot of things we are doing for savage then situations there. Then when you take them, even you go to the interior, President make a nice speech. President no go talk thing we not to do because I contempt that. He not go talk something now because at the end of the day, Thomas used to say go dig them up. If President say we have well, that is it. So President not go talk anything. That's why you get opposition at Parliament. You not go talk anything we not to do. Yeah. If the opposition not check them, I contempt that. If they not check them, then that means they are not doing their work. To be very candid enough, President don't talk say we don't solarize over 200 PHUs in this country. So what I want my brother to know is, I don't want this to be about like me versus him. I want us to speak nationalistically. I want us to look at this country and look at the problems. Say problems them they don't emanate at this country. My brother, we took power. Every sector of this country was rotten. We'll not take power, we'll come, we'll meet lights, they will cut the cable them all. We'll not take power, we'll come, we'll meet water, they go on, we cut the pipe them all. No, every sector we took power, when we came to power, every sector was totally zero. So you have to put policies in place, you have to put structures in place, you understand? So it will take time, but we are on the right trajectory to recovery.
So you want for reiterate back, say every sector when we take governance was totally zero.
It was totally zero.
Totally zero.
Yeah, it was totally zero.
Every
this
sector.
man not talk now, say. Now in talk, say 64 years, nothing not the way happen. He say, but
No, I'm not saying nothing.
but you said 64 years. You said 64. There is nothing to celebrate.
No, I'm not saying nothing.
No, you said there is so. Okay, what do you say?
My point is 64 years of independence, with all we together to disposal, a rich country in resources, we not get reason for celebrate the mediocre steps the way you make. Most of them mention, they make mention of, so now they fall under the mediocre steps I talk about.
So you take Tom. You look at maternal mortality, infant mortality. We say people they die. You call that a mediocre?
All of them tell you this, so my brother. I will tell you today, for fact, that these are issues we just there on paper.
Oh, so you
Go to the hospital now, cross Kiama Road.
So my point is,
Cross go Kiama Road Hospital. Cross go Kiama Road Hospital. Anyways, I will
At
come
this
now.
stage, you go out, do vox pop, talk to any citizen in a street. I believe say then go tell you say nothing order for celebrate, and the reason where then go give. Now that despite the fact you don't make mention of education, health, solar, way for plenty people go tell you say now because of failed systems make we focus now on solar.
No, that's
way for
not
be
true.
an option.
Solar is the new way to go.
Then go tell you say the basic necessities them, lights no day, water no day, even forget affordable food for eat na a challenge. Where for the citizens, and these are the issues where then they expect say government for the focus on. So waiting you go say to that kind of citizen we go tell you say there's nothing to celebrate because we okay they open pump and not get water. Put your lights on even though you get to top up now you meter you not get light.
Well, I will tell you say I will agree with you for say I mean struggles are there. I just make that very clear. Say we struggle with basic necessities of life. Struggle with food, people are poor, or get dimensional poverty where they all over this country. Everyone is poor. But what I'm not going to agree with you is there's nothing to celebrate. If anybody tell me, say, there is nothing to celebrate, then that person, either that person bias or they talk from an unpatriotic point of view. So
that kind of view, why you think, say, for celebrate, where don't clean the open in pump water no day, if they buy top up, put a meter, but you not get light.
You also got to understand, say, we live in a country that's very gullible. We live in a country that's politically divided.
These are years and years ago.
But these are
7 years down the line of President Bill leadership, for example, He's going out, and we still hear the excuses of we inherited these problems. Waiting at the strides where in don't make for ensure say there is a change before they left.
And that's what I was explaining when you guys interrupted me. So this is why I'm saying that we live in a society, one of the key problems in this country, now an illiteracy level rate. You live in a country wherein 3 out of 5 people cannot read and write. If 3 out of 5 people cannot read and write, they cannot make informed decision. We live in a country wherein people are politically, regionally, and tribally divided.
But you don't need for read and write for let you know say light today, or for let you know say water.
Even when you talk about light and water, I'm going to tell you, say there is a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, Naya EDSA come and only host them, the DG come and say about 9 or 8 out of 10 people they're not pay light bill. So even when we talk about leadership, we also have to look at citizens' responsibility here. Yeah, we have to be very candid. I want to let my brother get a candid conversation with citizens themselves. Would they come with a finger of lights in our houses? Them, you know, see citizens they can somebody they pay for water and they go cut the pipe. What the person went in they pay for them. And so there's services there. We also have to understand that, my sister, my brother, if you don't pay for them in advanced countries, you are not going to get them. We live in a country wherein people feel say government time will provide everything. 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 You feel say if people be they pay EDSA, if people say EDSA they recover the money. You feel say for the get problem with for the pay car power, but EDSA don't able to recover. That is one of the greatest challenges EDSA gets. That's why they do policy reforms. That is why they are doing all of the bringing systems, smart systems in place for let them make sure say they're able to recover money. And this has to do with citizenship. This has to do with responsibility. If you, as a citizen, the whole government accountable, say government for provide free health care for you, or government go for provide freedom of speech for you, or that government responsible create a platform for you, for let you vote wisely and do all that. You still get a responsibility as a citizen for make sure so you pay your taxes, pay them on time, right? So my point I am saying here is there's a lot of problems. Maybe I'll tell you here, say they are not paying people enough for letting living standard be okay. I agree with you. Yeah? I don't tell you, say, we energy sector is okay. No, there are problems. That's why we have a short term, we have a medium term, we have a long term plan. If you ask me what to do, can they don't lay that out for people for letting people they know? They don't even give you a target, say, if one forget energy sovereignty, now so time will they get them. But my point I want, who send me and my brother differ is this. All the problems I always say, don't they? The only problem with me and my brother differ from, you cannot say the lion's share of this problem you place them on this government. Because if I sit here, I'm going to tell my brother, all waiting this government don't do. All waiting this government don't do, and all waiting this government they do for make sure say, them problems they already discuss, for make sure say, we handle them. I just start with health.
So for you, although the debate is not about you versus Thomas or Thomas versus you, we are discussing the issues. Salon at 64, plenty of people get the perception and the view say corruption and poor leadership now don't bring the nation as to where it is right now. For government, one another thing say corruption and poor leadership really now one of the big problems them to the present day Sierra Leone.
Yes, corruption day. I would tell you say corruption there in this country. In fact, now one of the huge problem in this country. We don't make this country don't go before. But if you look at corruption, I mean, we'll get a scorecard here. If this man they compare, say, the two, like this government, this dispensation. But I will tell this man, say, for the records, say the MCC scorecard, unless my man not believe in facts or on data, but if you believe in authoritative facts, I will tell this man, say, in 2018, when President Bio came, and scorecard in fact for corruption, it passed by 71%. 2019, 2018, it passed by 71%. 2019, it passed by 79%. 2020, it passed by 81%. 2021, it passed by 83%. 2022, it passed by 79%. This same 5 years, APC be in government, 2007 when they come, then fell them, hopefully, by 15%. 2008, then fell them by what? 28%. 2009, then fell them by 27%. 2010, then fell them by 40%. The only time where the manager not allowed to pass, would then get 2011, would then get 53%. Then 2012, would then get 53%. So I just take the 2 5 years. I'm coming. 2 5 years. So when you talk about corruption, I mean, we've done better, unless this man not believe in facts, or not believe in science. We've done better in corruption, the fight against corruption. Now, corruption not fancy again. Now, I don't tell you say corruption not the will. I don't tell you say we don't eradicate them. But now, if you want for thief safe, you go afraid. You go talk about that.
Does that mean there's been a reduction?
We are seeing.
Now talk about the corruption.
We are seeing recoveries. The thing is, you know compare. You know compare. The fact is, unless I say, that make I say, I don't want this to be a debate, because at the end of the day, I just want to talk on facts.
Yes, so
right?
talk on the facts.
So you the talk say, unless you know one for believe waiting the MCC scorecard say, because based on this, given the money or the money where we eligible for them, right? These are independent institutions, authoritative institutions. Now them put all the metrics in place. Not to say you are bribe, not to say oh na this. No, we not got authority over that. You don't get to tell me. But you not go say the ACC where they now. I don't tell you say they not get their own loopholes. I don't tell you say they are perfect. I don't tell you say they don't have shortcomings. But Tom not go tell me say the ACC where they so now, which ACC would not ever get in the history we don't perform past this ACC. We're talking about all what me want let me brother understand here. Right. We're talking about progress. I know they say we are there. I'm not coming to say Mr. said they suffer Sierra Leonean. But what I want my brother to understand, let's get this clear to the people where they listen, that we are making strides, we are making baby steps, we are making efforts, we are not sitting down. It's not because we say we want for day or not day, that means we sit down. No.
Okay. All right, Mike, will they come back to you? Let me just bring Thomas in. For the government, based on what Mike don't tell we, then believe say strives and the way they don't they make, we now hopeful strives them because we begin for talk. Salon 64, he said we need for be hopeful because efforts say we then make we then believe say Salon go get there. For you, outside the Bio-led administration, they get them wrong. We make 7 years down the line. Adding to Salon 64th independence anniversary, struggle still they forget basic necessities for citizens.
Yeah, first of all, me know the benchmark me analysis now so on a single political party. But at zero on the government currently in power because we're celebrating 64 years under the leadership of President Bio. And this is not just the first year within governance, this is 7 years. Within 7 years, any government or any leadership will really get the will and get the necessary, get sensitive to the wishes and aspirations of the people for make tremendous progress. Not to the baby steps we talk about. So I have actually acknowledged the fact that, of course, steps have been taken for political reasons all over this political goal scoring, the free quality education, fight against corruption, this blah, blah, fixing solar, this, all of these are just for the icing. But which are the sustainable steps that they take for change this country in fortune? These are the challenges we get as people and as an organization. Not to knee-jerk approach them. Things that we will just come and what they call them, they just vanish. This is what we have had over time. Now, if they compare this now electricity, we of course under the past administration we had electricity. You can take anything from them, but we had sober electricity now. Yes. Yes. We had sober electricity that now. Factual. No. Now, let me analyze these issues, yeah?
Yeah.
Under the past administration, if you can take anything from an Escoma in government, you cannot take electricity from him. What will be get for electricity is better than now. You ask the question, why are we retrogressing? And they bring this comparison for show a stark reality of how we make one step and take 10 steps backward. One step forward and take 10 steps backward as a nation. And that is why I say we do not have to celebrate. Let us sit down and get an introspection of ourselves as a nation. You talk about the health sector. This Kiama Road Hospital was not built under this administration. It was built under the past administration. And even the Lumley way it calls so. And several other hospitals in this country. But waiting at the steps where this administration will take for make sure say even with the structures the way they, you have the personnel will be well energized for do their work. When somebody come into the hospitals, you will feel say in the hospital you will get the medication for get and commodity better than high goodie. Most of them know they go to their hospitals here because they go overseas for medication and their family members are all the goodie. Now we were there now so. We were there at the bottom ladder. Now we the goodie. Now we know, now we the see what they happen. We talk about corruption. Inside in analysis, it make mention of index them where MCC don't pull. Now, within the index here, within the same year, so I don't read this now, billions of leones that cannot be accounted for under this administration, all on account of corruption. The same years when they talk about MCC pull this, he give them score so, he can get the score index, they make so. In 2018, 177 billion 500 cannot be accounted for by this administration. In 2020, 153 billion 900 cannot be accounted for. Under the same time, where the same MCC the pull report they give them
accolade. Is a query.
Now audit reports a query.
Now a query.
In 2021, 175 billion cannot be accounted for. In 2022, 317 billion cannot be accounted for. In 2023, 233 billion 700 cannot be accounted for. All the entire way they get them, MCC scores here so on corruption. Aye. Now come down to the fight against corruption. We they see consistently in this country that the fight against corruption is very selective. Except somebody want for be economical with the facts. Today, if the first lady involved in corruption, you know, ever get that case they pass anything in this country because we don't get example of that. We don't get a case. At some point when the first lady was to be investigated, we saw the ACC coming out to even defend the first lady. We have seen a situation where the chief minister, ex-chief minister, for Professor Francis, was to be investigated for millions of dollars. Then came out, now the ACC came out for defend. We have seen a situation where the clerk of parliament was involved in glaring corruption. Employed in wife they receive money from the consolidated fund for 2 solid years.
So for you, the
ACC took him. No, not on this, please. ACC took him.
On the issues here for you, not to the expectation.
These are the points that they raised. These are the points that they raised. The ACC brought him in, yes, investigated, but what's the outcome of the investigation? That no, be administrative issue, blah blah blah. Let him pay back the money. Today, he is not only receiving, not only in our workplace, he's now aspiring, in fact, for higher positions with the country. When a teacher is found, when a teacher is accused of corruption, you see that they parade in state, cutting tree. This is the fight against corruption we talk about. This is the fight against corruption where not they really come for fight corruption in the sense of because people when are power holders were exposed to resources. When they don't put in charge for take care of the money, they benefit from the money, they plunder the money. When case come up, you know they go no side. Free quality education, food. Now this country we see free quality education, hundreds of thousands of bags of rice for free quality education came into this country. People and they will receive them food, they say to go to them different constituencies, share amongst themselves. It happened in this country about 3 or 4 years ago. Share amongst themselves. That matter, where is it today? Has anybody been found wanting? No. So when we talk about corruption, when we sit on them platform, here, so we'll talk on the issues. Citizens Advocacy Network, they talk on the issues against the backdrop of the reality they glare at the face of everybody.
So Thomas, when I look at the backdrop of issues surrounding corruption, just like Mike talk about, a pay reference to the MCC scorecard. You know, we say it get to do with it's a reputable institution to assess government with regards to corruption. On your own aspects, how you go assess government? There has been any progress? Just like you don't mention some of the pitfalls, some challenging issues with regards to corruption. How you go assess government? Any progress in the fight of corruption?
From the outset, I talk say if I sit and talk say government don't make steps, I go be the biggest liar and I will be very hypocritical and I will be truthful to una and even the people. But the steps that have been taken from independence to date are mediocre steps. If not mediocre steps, we for the far before now. These are a country that will be called the anthems of West Africa. Most people they come out, they can't fully college for Canaan book because we get the best education system. People they come out Guinea for Canaan, so we can do business. Today Guinea don't become a commerce attractive area than Salone. Today in Sierra Leone, people they sleep without even knowing what they go eat in the next day. We talk about a youthful population that is so despondent, the youth they don't become so disgruntled that they don't retire into drug intake. Kush and other harmful drugs don't shatter the lives of youth. The future of this country will constitute over 30% of the population of this country. We talk about a country we're blessed with mineral resources, not a country this way in a fake country. Not to all countries that will get diamond, gold, bauxite, titanium, and we get over 20 mineral resources. So these are the issues we're raising. So when we raise the issues here, for go put 2-3 solar in one building, then the people where they carry the building, they get the necessary facility, we will make them be better citizens and live their lives and longer. Life expectancy in a salon is so short. Like if you did outside of salon, the years that you would take as a human being, you then if I tell like you're in a danger zone for more time for live. This now the country where recently the UN don't come out clear and say now one of the most unhappy countries in the world. The citizens of this country is so unhappy, they get indicators they look for say a nation is unhappy. When I say we are the most unhappy nation in the world, over 150 countries in the world. Now we can second.
Have we ever been happy?
Now we can second as the most unhappy country in the world. So when
he believes say governments on the take for ensure say salon people continue for be hopeful for say brighter days. They can make mention say the health sector now one indication than the way they show say they are making progress. It talk about immunization where it say salon they do fantastically well. It talk about girl child education and so many other areas them where in belief say the baby steps and where then they take as government go results to salon reaching there. For you, with then indicators here where Mike share, Sierra Leoneans then still not for be hopeful. Why?
What makes Salon man for be hopeful because even in your statement, when they encounter power, they benchmark their achievement on the past administration. Where they talk, it make heavy weather on what they don't do, what the past administration don't do. But if forget for no say, Sierra Leoneans then decide for dump, then decide for sack the past administration because Sierra Leoneans were not impressed. Sierra Leoneans become tired with the past administration and they look for better condition of living. That was why they bring in this administration. And that is why, as I say, when I analyze the issues, I zero on this administration currently in governance. Because when this administration be the campaign, then campaign, they give lofty promises. Like they were going to take us from here to heaven. Salon is going to be paradise. When they come in, we begin to see a total diversion from what they say. First of all, we see a very bloated, I don't think say any country that will get the kind cabinet will get. Salon get one of the biggest cabinets in the history of politics in the world. We get beaucoup ministers in past countries the way they make money pass yourself, pass America self. We get beaucoup ministers in. Because when they kind of power, now for begin to give job to party them, give jobs to the one the way they support we and anything say they against disregarding the fact that this the heap unbearable burden on the wage bill. A country that is not making much, coming from Ebola, coming from Corona, you get the opportunity for come serve. When you come, what you will fully do in Tanzania? Where come, it slash the cabinet and people look like government. It slash them, it slash beaucoup excess spending, it slash travelings. It all in fact, even the meetings then for be done at their offices. Any side where possible where they need representation of the country, the ambassador in that country they for they represent, not to all side president for go. Coming to this again. Waiting president not spend a loan part in spending for say for rebrand this country image over the past 7 years. It don't do for change this country in fortune. If we say now education they put on paper, where education will be one of the best in the world, first class. If we get that money in there and streamline in excessive travelings with all the baggage they can go and come back. He said they go for rebrand this country, but how much has he rebranded this country within travelings? Recently, Salon don't be declared as a narco state. When I say narco state, a state where now a hub for criminals they way into cocaine and other drugs. This now a country this way be say we don't declare this. Everybody knows this country for being a narco state. We know this country for being a narco state. So this now a country where we don't get a repetition for be so involved in drug circulation. You go all over the place. Salon today, they're not the news. They're not the news. They're not international news for drug peddling.
Watch the president in speech just now, Salon at 64. One thing where he make mention of, he said the spirit of independence is not just about our freedom. It is about taking responsibility in lifting our country and ensuring that no one is left behind in the nation's development.
No one is left
in
behind.
that aspect, how you go describe President Bio in leadership? This nothing will come from him as part of
I tell you, say the only one that waited before, like the one that waited near the resources. All the one near the resources, but everybody have been left behind. Over 7.5 million people over 8 million people are left behind. Few, just few, not even up to 0.5% that they did before. So that part the one that way they live comfortable lives, my sister, in this country currently, the one that way they close to power. Now then go sit down, and then go tell you say today then sick. Then go for afford ticket for go overseas and go get medication. These are the indicators I tell you about. Because when you sick now, some kind of sick, you don't take it and now you die. You get sick when we say it's curable, you die in this country. Now only the one that way they close to power, less than 0.5%. Now they go now they get the best education because then they go school now then they go government school their way infested with corruption. We teachers are not well catered for. You understand? They not even get the zeal for going to schools for teacher private schools that they make name now at the country. Now only the one that they were in a power now they enjoy that all of us are left behind. So the idea of saying no one should be left behind is just a rhetoric to me.
Come to Mike. So Mike can go able to translate this part of the president in speech where he make mention say this independence not just about freedom or ensuring say we live to a country, but for ensure say no one is left behind. President Bio in leadership, how or what you go show us indicators for say in leadership don't show say no one for left anybody behind as we they go we they bring everybody on board.
My sister made a year one.
How?
Like we act. That's a representation of women coming along with us. Young people in governance, youth empowerment. That is a representation of no one is leaving behind. But I want to let you understand this before I hover down to what my brother they say. Then say, where somebody won for Wasu, help you get for Wasu Bako. Not outside the was for you.
But what not for you Wasu Bako?
How you go what I go there? Because let me tell you one thing, maybe if this country gets sophisticated, let's say we'll bring all the companies then from China, we'll bring them there. At the end of the day, they are not going to employ everybody. You get to tell the try for talk. In fact, a lot of people will be poor because they are looking for skilled people. Yeah? They will employ, if let me say CNN Canada, then they go look for somebody who don't get skill now. Una then go look for Falona work day. Yeah? So President Bio believes say for let a country move forward. The key thing for let country move forward is education. Education. And that is why he hover on that. That is why he makes sure say he pour resources on them. Where he come, yes, we educate, not perfect. Because perfection are progress. Every day they perfect them. You don't get to tell me, we not reach a side so we get hybrid blackboards in a classroom. We not reach a side so we get bosses them for all students in this country. We not reach a side so we able to pay with teachers them $1,000 or above or train them, give them quality training. But what come? Teachers them in this country where we say, now you teachers, they are not trained and qualified. This man will tell me say we don't increase salaries at all. We don't increase salaries. If you ask what to do, we don't increase salaries. That's civil society, man. You know, say we don't increase salaries at every level.
What's the wage bill?
You know, no, I'm coming. I'm not going to interrupt you when you talk. Yeah. So we don't increase salaries for police, teachers, nurses, doctors, laboratory technicians. This is why I said we are not there. This is why I will tell you, say, even America, people then they grumble about the minimum wage day. People they grumble. Then they pay people $13 an hour. People then they grumble. You go ask what's it make if you say them vote Biden out of power? You go ask. Citizens are like that. You get to tell me. But let me just come back to what my brother be the talk. My brother make mention of Thomas. You make mention of something I feel it's very unfair to the people of this country. I don't know if your analysis was based on just Freetown. You talk about electricity. Waiting at be the electrification, Sierra Leone electrification with 2017.
Go ahead, journalists.
No, not to go ahead.
Go ahead, journalists.
Because when they talk there, you make mention. You make mention, my brother. You make mention of something because the thing is, you're a very landed friend. Yeah, I want to get an objective debate here for the people for listening. Mabel, Sierra Leone electrification rate, that was 13%. 2017, that's what APC left. When they talk about electricity, you know they talk about electricity like just Freetown. Freetown is not Sierra Leone. Mabel, we don't take electricity in rural areas. They pay taxes. It's the capital city.
So the capital city not gets enough.
Kabbalah no get. If Cambia no get. Cambia no
if
part
the
of
capital city,
no, Cambia no the part of
the capital city not gets enough, how you go justify say enough then the provinces?
So this is
when I had a host.
So this
majority
is
of
this go back to the question where you asked me.
The offices.
This go back to the question where you asked me. Where you say President Bio say no one should be left behind. President Bio no believes in just Freetown. I believe the people that way they part to.
But there are priority areas.
Everybody
Freetown among that.
Freetown is not a priority.
Freetown is a priority.
No, it's not. Every Sierra Leone is a priority. We know they look at and say the same people where they go school now. Yeah? If we get the same privilege, would they be like same hospital today? Now upline.
But
yeah?
the privileges and the way they give to the capital is more than the provincial.
Yes, because of population, not on demographics.
Freetown
not only on demographics.
Only offices and this.
You don't get to say me. Yes, not only on demographics. But what you mean they try for say? The people that were in the interiors, the people that were in the rural areas, they've been left behind for so long. And in President Bio's opening speech, when maybe you asked me, that was what exactly President mean. That's the essence of our new direction. That is what we believe in. Say everybody matters in this country. If you didn't at the north, you didn't at the south, you didn't at the east, you didn't at the west, it no matter who say you. The rural electrification project, 7 districts, where you say mention about Kabbalah no dipana, Cambia no dipana. You know they see the lines that within the string across the country. But I talk not be objective, Tom. This country, we are young people. I understand, say, when you start, I tell you, say, we have problems in this country. Yeah? And I tell you, say, I go tell you, say, every sector in this problem get problem. Agriculture get problem. We are not there. Health, we are not there. Education, we are not there. Energy, we are not there. I am not coming to say we are there. But what I want, Rome was not built. Okay.
Government coming in, government going out.
So all this
the same problem, the same issues are they still coming up.
All this boils down to what? You, the citizens, also. We, the citizens, the leadership, them, people how they elect. You understand what I'm saying? So it comes to how we elect our leaders.
Wonderful.
If you take a look at this country, the worst leaders then at this country, the most worst dispensation. When me man something, no one for talk that. Now, Sheki and Momo in them, APC them.
Why is it so?
One first not to be democracy, and be one party system. We all know how Sheki be to do things. We all know how Momo be to do things. We all know the internet to line day. We know the talk about light safe. You understand what I'm saying? So when they say worst, education will be privilege. When they say worst, so when man they say this 7 years, I'm coming, don't interrupt. No, yeah, and that's why we are met because we met. Now we are taking this conversation. I wanted us to just focus on the 64 anniversary. But Tom they move away. I want to make this thing about. So, but he's making. If you are having a conversation and they hover around what you say, this dispensation now then get the lion's share of the blame, and that is unfair.
No, it's not unfair.
That is unfair.
It's not.
Thomas, I will tell you one thing. If the way you're vocal. If you were vocal like this against the then administration, a different thing.
No. Okay,
let me come. We saw that here. Okay. Now, we see journalists, then beat Ante, would then say the former administration in Peking, the president in Peking, then beat Ante die in a beach. Nothing not come out of him.
Which one?
I don't forget him. I know a new people newspaper. No. He died out of brain injury. That didn't a record. It didn't a human. I'm coming.
Killings.
Don't interrupt.
Would they get extrajudicial killings under this administration?
Don't let me come.
Sabi almost 100 people don't die under this administration.
Wait.
No, we can go into then and now.
You are going now. So I just want to tell you, say, if you sit down and have
don't die under this administration. Democratic administration than any other administration.
With all due respect, you are interrupting. Let me just land, Mabel. With all due respect.
We talk about human rights violations.
But the human records, the human rights records during the damn APC was even terrible more than
well, this is where we are getting it wrong.
Yeah?
This is where we are getting it wrong.
So you not believe in facts.
Because you benchmark your analysis on APC when don't be kicked out.
No, because
we use APC as our benchmark for achievement.
Because you are blaming the reason why I'm going back so.
Now all authority. Now they put now the spotlight.
No.
Now all authority now.
Where people believe say division continue for them as salon. APC versus SLPP. This debate is not about the APC and the SLPP.
No, but he's making it about...
No. I'm not.
You are.
I'm blaming because you said government. No. And I zeroed on you.
You said the worst. You said the worst. Tom, this is what I take. I take exception to this. You said the dispensation is the worst. I don't know.
No. I don't use the worst. This is to be held responsible.
No, you said
for the challenges we face now.
You said that the worst dispensation.
Okay, let the
President Bio don't be the 5th president since independence to now. And I ask you earlier, say you go outside and I ask people and why they don't see reason for celebrating independence is because then they get challenges for get them basic necessities, even though then the struggle gets them the lily and nothing, once for use them, but they not get the facilities them where they supposed for the get. Waiting on be the bottleneck 7 years down the line. Let me just look at Iona so they fade out. We make up till now, you go open you pump na os water no go come out, lights no go there, even though you get top up na you meter. Because these are the issues, the bread and butter issues where the Bio administration don't they talk about, we make people they feel say, reason not for celebrate salon at 64.
But that's not the norm. Not put like say every house in this country, not they get lights. Before they left me whole scam, I left lights there. Lights there. Just tell me so we not get 24-hour light. You know, go tell me, say, every house in this country not get water. You go to rural areas, people then where they get tap water. You don't get me? You get areas in the way, water not all over. So long not put them.
So the majority of the population.
Not put them. This question back where they say, it all has to do with what? Narratives. And like what you do is survey.
So
you interrupt me. Allow me now land. Maybe I'll make a premise. So we have a conversation. Now, make us say, it depends on, even survey we did, you can skew a survey. It depends on who you can ask. Like when you ask me, I'm very objective. I tell you, say there are problems. I know you tell you, say people are not suffering. People are suffering in this country. There are problems. Not on that, I can't see how they talk. If I say that, then I'm wrong. That's not what I'm defending. But what I want to let me man say, let me man know, you can't say this dispensation is the worst.
No.
You can, or you take it back.
No, listen.
Okay, reframe it.
Let me for want of a better word.
Okay.
Let me just say this, or for the clarity, for the abundance of clarity.
Yeah.
I have never said not the worst administration. What I have said is, we have had people who have occupied government power who have failed this country. And for the purposes of the 64th anniversary of Sierra Leone, we are going to zero and heap the blame of the challenges we face currently on this government, because 7 years down the line after government Maada Bio hold power, we still there in a state. Hey, but are you still at talk?
No.
We need to read the messages now. Then we go hear it from now. Let me read the messages where the viewers they don't send. Being that we say for getting the opportunity, let on our two area this morning know waiting in the field as the conversation they continue. The very first message what they look at, they read from the YouTube channel. This one from Samuel Tholi. He said, Mike, when good is done, it's easy to defend. Every good deed stands out and advertises itself. Wrong deeds are the most difficult to defend because it doesn't advertise itself.
All right, I will take this one quick one now. We fix Facebook page. They come from Mohammed Aruna. I say, how can you continue to blame APC after 7 years in power?
Thoronka Joseph, now the YouTube channel, he say, The light in Kabbalah is not from government, please.
The next one, they come up from Dauda Atali, say this is the great difference between electrification and power supply. There are thermal plants all over the country and no fuel to power them.
This other one from Jibril Adumboya is say, Mike, please stop the blame game. What about the NPRC government rule, which Maada Bio was key figure for 4 years?
The next one, they come up from Suleiman Kaman on Facebook. He say, well said, Mr. Mike Berewa. Freetown is not Sierra Leone. We need to think about the villages.
This is a one-party system where SLPP encourage stop for compare. Na that make with the votes for change things.
Freddy Kabali Mansari, now Facebook page, say, Mike, in Kabbalah still do not have electricity. The government made a promise to give us electricity, but until now, we are still waiting. Nothing has changed. People are tired and disappointed. It is not fair to keep promises what you cannot do. Kabbalah need lights. We should not act like everything is okay, whilst others are suffering. If you are happy with the government, think about those who still live in darkness. Kabbalah still deserves light.
This other one from Idris Ba is say, why can't he bring his own children from America to Sierra Leone to enjoy the free quality education?
Boyo Jolo Jabori, now Facebook page, say there is nowhere on earth where salaries are enough. Yet people, social lives are still moving on.
This one from Ronald Beresford Ignatius Georgestone. It says Sierra Leoneans need to wake up and realize that the leaders you have been voting have not been good to you and your future, and you must accept it.
Alma J. Conteh, now Facebook page, say, in my opinion, to rule a country is not about being rich, being poor, and being a drag man. It is about having love, integrity, compassion, and being generous to the people. Without all these things, you will never make good leadership.
A lot of things we don't come in, but because of time, the final one I got it from Facebook. Ronald, they say the pot's calling kettle black. Instead of you guys finding solutions to perennial problems, you are pointing fingers. You are pointing fingers. Who is worse?
The last one we may go take from the Facebook page coming from Boyo. He says, stop fighting corruption and start fighting poor belief, perception, and a wrong collective attitude. Sierra Leone is suffering a crisis that has social, psychological crisis and need more attention with regards to governance. It is not handwriting on education. We have a lot to do in our education sector.
All right. Well, from them over to we guess them, and we'll go begin with you, Mike. For let you respond to the messages and tell viewers them as to the wrap up why them for be hopeful. Salon at 64 moving forward.
Because President Bio don't give hope to young people. I don't give hope to women in this country. The policies that will get the 5 big changes of policies and the only policies and then the way they transform this country. The only one where they transform this country. So if you take a look at it, you turn them so, you bring them so. That's the only policies the way you take a look at it. If we're able to feed ourselves, human capital development, tech and infrastructure, youth empowerment, public service architecture, all anything there, now they make country go before. So one thing only one people understand is, I'm not here sitting, I repeat, I think I've said this countless times. I know they sit down there, I can't tell people them say, it's okay. I not sit down there, I can't tell people them say, it's rosy. I'm not here to tell people to say Sierra Leone is heaven. No. We have challenges. We have challenges at every sector. Challenges there. We took this country, President Bio took this country where all things rotten. Energy was rotten, education was rotten, agriculture was rotten, nothing to talk about, tourism, everything. But the policies them and the things that President Bio they do, some of them things there, you not go see her now. You not go see them now. But with time, you will see, say, a reflect on the people. We don't see how education they pick up. We don't see how school enrollments don't pick up in this country. And we don't focus. Sierra Leone is not Freetown. I will keep on saying that. Let somebody sit down at Kabbalah, they talk about light. If we build hospital now, we will go back na Kabbalah will be landing. We will go na Kenema, we will go na Kailaun, we will go na Bombali. If lights then are for they all over. Freetown is not Sierra Leone. It's not. The people them back where they upline they matter. They are part of them, but Cooper's the one where they Freetown. So if we own development, they go out there. And one thing I want you understand me better. This country, I wish me and my brother for don't talk about this. This country, we are so divided. We're divided politically, we're divided regionally. So you find out, say, even if they ask questions, so Monday, just because you know like SLPP, elect Maada Bio do anything good, you know go talk good. You get the other person back, just because you know like APC, unless we don't do anything good, you know the talker. So even with all the issues there, we as politicians, or we were there in governance, or we were leaders them, will find it difficult also for really know what people they want. Because you as citizens, you get for the objective. You get for the objective. You were the advocate for them people, then you say get for the objective. I'm glad you man withdrawing statement because yeah, you did because anyway you go listen. You don't interrupt. You don't interrupt. You know you go look at them because at the end of the day you said when you start your submission you were very clear. You said you made it very clear. Say now that they make us say that I get problem with youth. All the things that we highlight, say the problems of this country.
Conversation not to you versus him versus
right,
you.
so,
as they wrap up now, one big question where Sierra Leoneans asked this independence was why was the president not in town for the independence celebration?
Does he has to be in town? Commit any crime? Is it a golden rule? Say the president for the in town for independence. The message, make a message, and the president travel. I go Rome. I get a personal relationship with, he's a devout Christian, a devout Catholic. I get a personal relationship with the Pope, right? So if the Pope die, go there. I mean, I don't feel say commit any crime. Independence celebration, go ahead. The Vice President will see I represent them. We had a symposium yesterday in a hockey pitch. We'll be colorful. We are in, we'll talk about Sierra Leone, who's will come out, who's will day, and who's will go. So I don't feel say that should even be a conversation. Right? And not means the president need for. The president be this, what if I don't do? Not the same thing no more will happen, if I don't do.
All right, Mike, many thanks for joining at the program this morning. Come over to you, Thomas Moore, as we wrap up the edition of the Breakfast Show. Waiting will be your message to citizens them regarding Sierra Leone being 64 years after independence, moving forward.
The message to citizens now that we need for actually take we rightful positions as the bosses of this country. Now we are the bosses. Now we are the one that we employ Mike Bio and the way she also. Now we employ President Bio. Now we employ President Kuruma. Now we employ Paba. All the one that we don't come, we don't serve as leaders them. We don't lead this country over time. Now we be employ them. If you get somebody you put now your business for all and for you consistently, they give problem. You need to sit down and get a re-evaluation and re-evaluate yourself, examine yourself, and know whether you they put right people in your place and whether time then people don't they really carry themselves in the way they will carry themselves. The citizens there we need for rise up. We have to wake up and begin look at how we don't choose leaders them over time. And waiting at the things they will look for inside leaders for making them leaders. Because the leaders get role for play. For make whether the country will go before it will go behind. This consistent APC, SLPP, APC, us versus them has not helped this country. We need a cohesive state. We need a leadership who will come and change this narrative. We will come and look at every Sierra Leonean as a Sierra Leonean way if we represent. And not as somebody that come from the east, west, north, or south. Or somebody in a mandate team, the Limbal or comment or what have you. If we see Sierra Leoneans them and see them based on waiting there for deliver and give them jobs, people are already work tirelessly for make this country go before with teachers, with doctors. Yeah? All people in our sectors, the civil servants, we then deserve to get better conditions of living at a time when the state these things difficult. One bag rest only close to 1 million. So if you raise salary for somebody they receive 800,000 to 1.5, if you pull 800,000 or 900,000 for buy one bag rest, I must all left well. So these are the baby steps, these are the mediocre steps that we will talk about. We will not need that in this country. Going forward, this is 64 years. We still face them challenges there, so we can get better. We can get better. If countries like Burkina Faso will not get any democratic leadership in less than 1 to 2 years, we will see how they change their fortunes. You look at Tanzania. You look at Tanzania. How Magufuli makes steps, and you see the steps that we take for changing the lives of the people. We get a duty as Sierra Leoneans for wake up. No, we are not the young people. In fact, for be more conscious. We should not retire. We will not for retire to despondents. We will not for allow ourselves for be used by politicians for their selfish gains. Let we take up the responsibility of changing the narrative of this country, because we can do better as a country.
We want to say plenty thank you to Yusuf for sending message. We were not able for it today at this edition of the Breakfast Show. We've been looking at Salon at 64 after independence, whether na corruption or poor leadership made the country delekaide. So in case you not been in at the beginning of the show, feel free to go back now we YouTube channel, go to the website and self with Facebook page and watch as the two gentlemen then at the studio been do justice to the conversation based on the background. Civil society, Thomas Moore Conteh was here, and also we've been get Mike from State House, we've been tell we waiting President being governments on do so far. And now this edition of the program go left for now. Plenty thank you to the production team. Princess Piaso produced the program, Musa Sau Kuruma and Samuel Joseph Thomas. Now they give you technical support, and of course then is Camera make on see we live now with different platform them. Until we meet again, continue for Watch Liberty Online TV as throughout the day we will bring come different contents them now with different platform them for keep on updated. Goodbye, Mabel Kabade say till we meet again.
And me now Alhassan Kuma, get yourself a comfortable time and continue for share with content them, follow Liberty Online TV on all platform, as we always there for bring to you the very best of information across the country. Me now Alhassan Kuma, wish you a pleasant day.
Develop city, then clean, all clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown, and today I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let we start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dirty in the street, in order to make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So when you waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packets on tin. Not even a ground where you done. Make sure say you put on one of them bins then they. That litter bin they. In order for you host dirty. You know mean say if you pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty to them one way the Allah say clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. You know get for Karango now the one of the two official sites. You know they can go Kissy Bomber, you know they can go King Tom Bomber. It turns so it left on the ground. And now we council get a problem, but you self get a problem because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So wait you for do with your host dirty. We get the one then a council where we don't certify. So then approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution, everybody for make sure say their waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies. So you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And wait till we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them for help you for no side and day and for let them self go to you so that we no go get that gap. When you eat dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach. All the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we did lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money pan dirty business. The fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations, the illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. All that boku money. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna spend anything, but we're going to reduce some. If Fritonians then do the right thing. Because we're not gonna get for go clear illegal dump sites. We're not gonna get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money we spend now on dirty business, we go able put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want improving markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money we will use for dirty business. You and while we all make up we mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Online TV.